Okay, and indeed we're off and running. So I'm at that 3, 4, 5 second mark, Beastie, if it helps you get synced. And we are off and going. And the winner stays on Series B, taking the 2-1 lead running into this game. Hera's run in big trouble. For those not familiar with the winner stays on series, each player competes for $500 with the champion staying on to play the next week. Hera currently on a win streak of 4, going to try and make it $2,500 today. 10 win streak bonus is $2,500 extra, and a 20 win streak bonus is $10,000 extra. We've got Hera, though, spawning in the meantime in the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the Mongol civilization, and spawning in the south of the map on Dry Arabia, we have got B playing in red as the French. Now, we were talking a bit about this matchup before, Beastyqt. Quite an interesting one. Generally, two very aggressive civs, French with those early Royal Knights, and Mongols, of course, with their attacking prowess. Doesn't need to be explained very much. So, your thoughts on this matchup? What might we expect to see? Do you favour one of the civs over the other? What are you looking out for here?
Yeah, so I think So I mentioned the spawn if Mongols get the gold next to their TC, which is actually quite a huge thing. I actually didn't see where Hera spawned, but he does have gold next to the other wood line. Maybe he didn't see it in time. But if you place your TC there, not only your TC is protected, your gold is protected, but you don't have to spend the 100 wood on the ger or jur or however it's called to mine that gold. So the French knights will also not be able to harass the gold at all. Any other nice little stone there, but maybe placing a TC instantly, maybe he missed it. I'm not sure. So French definitely has a little potential to do some gold harassment. But like I said, I would expect Hera to go for Castle Rush into Lancers and try to kind of out-multitask the opponent there. On the other side, B, we might see a Tower Rush, we might see a Feudal Rush, we might see a Castle Rush. At this point, I am not sure what to expect from him anymore.
So now we do have that Gur going up quite... yeah, it does go up. 3 villages on gold. So we're going to see whether or not your prediction comes true here. Very interesting to see these games without animation cancel. This is another one of the matchups that's going to be quite affected by that. But yeah, I mean, the France opening obviously speaks for itself. Nothing's going to change and hasn't changed in terms of the French opening since the very early meta, as that school of cavalry goes down very quick and surely soon into the production of the Royal Knights. Keeps enough villagers on gold to start producing those knights, with the rest on food. Aging up with the 3 villages, and we see maybe a relatively good town centre placement there from Hera. Perhaps could have been even a little bit closer to that wood line, but it seems just about fine. And the Ovu on the back stone. Anything so far that surprised you here?
No, so far pretty standard, I would say. The one thing that is a little bit weird is B is not gathering any wood yet. So he's just delaying that, getting a lot of food, which kind of tells me he wants to go straight into a knight. And the School of Cavalry is already rallied across the map. So I think he's going to open with the knight. Maybe he's going to go for that gold. Who knows? And Hera actually stopping the gold mining to tech up, which if you want to rush castle, you need to continue mining that gold. So I guess I'm going to be curious to see what Hera decides to go for. Maybe he's going to go for feudal aggression, but you usually don't want to contest French there, especially with Mongols, because in order to get that Mongol speed boost buff from your towers or your landmarks, you kind of need to be around them. So we'll see what he decides to go for. And Hera is actually going to go and get deer all the way in the front, which again is very interesting because French have knights, and I'm not sure how Hera will be defending this.
Well, there's your answer, as the outpost goes up immediately next to it. So, I mean, he's going to try and hope he can defend it with the outpost, but yeah, definitely going to be interesting, especially as we probably have Royal Knights on their way very, very soon. In fact, Royal Knight now almost finished and popping out any second. In fact, do we already have one? No, that's a scout over there. But the first Royal Knight pops out, and that is going to be pressure coming very, very soon, possibly attacking that forward position, which was already scouted. So Gonna be quite interesting to see what happens here. Royal Knight now making its way across the base, gonna start getting right on top of that position straight away. And as we've seen in quite a lot of these games, B going on the early offensive, B getting up in age ahead of his opponent in most of these games as well, so managing to get on the pressure quite early. Runs into the can in the meantime. The can's going to be able to get away no problem. So he turns that ship around.
Interesting, he didn't decide to go for the deer workers. Even though there's a tower, there are 7 workers and only 5 fit in the tower, so he will lose workers anyway. So I'm not sure why he decided to skip that.
Yeah.
But he just decides to go around it.
Well, now he's got 2, so he might decide to go after them now. He's gonna chase them down now. Maybe he wanted to approach that from the other side, though. Is really nice body blocking from Hera's Khan there, managing to stop him getting to the villages. And Hera did a pretty great job there of not losing any villagers at all in that situation. So that was quite nice play, Hera, in terms of his defense, known for having very, very stellar defense in general. And yeah, no losses taken so far from, so that's a bit of an early investment into military production from B that's not yet paid any dividends there. Any concern for B at this stage? I mean, he would have probably liked to take down a villager or 2.
I think I have more concerns for Hera because this deer mining or deer gathering, like, he is defending, yes, but he's not, you know, using those workers to actually gather the whole time. They're most of the time in the tower chilling, and he's not getting gold. So he's getting a lot of archers, which, you know, against knights defensively, they're not bad, you know, because they can micro around the towers and speed and so on. But B is completely controlling the map. He has knights everywhere. He's still denying the gold. And this is kind of just a very slow game from Hera right now, where I'm not sure why he just didn't go for Spearmen if he wants to, you know, play defensive. Because archers, like I said, they're not necessarily bad if you have enough of them versus knights, but Spearmen would definitely be having a lot easier time deflecting this. And now we see Hera making another tower on the gold, and it seems like he will be trying to get to Castle, because he has a lot of workers getting that gold right now.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. So that Knight Mass beginning to build up for B. Chivalry already in. Very painful when you're an opponent of the French, seeing those knights keep getting repaired. But yeah, no villagers down yet. You have pointed out, and it is quite true, and it's been quite catching, the extent to which B, really in every single game this series, has been the one enjoying map control. Even the game that he ended up ultimately losing, game 1, he, you know, he was the one that really, for most of the game, felt like he had the map control. And again, this is one where again, the map looks very red. He looks to be all over the place. Hera now does have a bit of a critical archer mass out, but it needs to be careful. He doesn't get these caught, and
B can fight that for
yeah,
sure. He has +1 armor as well. And even if he loses a knight, he'll definitely be able to kill a lot of those archers. Especially because B is actually transitioning into archers of his own. So sacrificing 1 or 2 knights in order to kill 5 or 6 archers at this stage in the game and trying to overwhelm your opponent with your own archers, I think is definitely a good investment.
Well, that's yeah, that's quite surprising. I was surprised to see those knights take a turn, because yeah, at least could have gone in for a couple of good hits, and then, like, yeah, as said, that chivalry will repair those knights up quite well anyway. But so far, I guess neither player really done anything decisive. Another Royal Knight standing a little bit alone over there, but nothing decisive too much. And again, B not quite fancying it. Khan might be in danger of going down here, and escapes with 10 HP. Can he get one more hit in? Oh, that's really, really close. That would have been quite significant if he'd lost the Khan there, but he manages to survive with very, very low HP. B pulling back and just not quite fancying going in for that engagement. A few opportunities that he looked like he could have gone in with an engagement, but choosing not to. And yeah, both players kind of taking a break from these engagements. Knights sitting there on the side of the field. In the meantime, B's pressed all the way up the eastern sides of the map where he is gathering from these deer. The Hardened can now building back most of its HP, so getting back into a better position. B has looked good in this game, not really pressed that early advantage. Whose opening do you like the look of so far? Who's looking good to you?
I like B's opening more, but I feel like he missed quite a few opportunities with not engaging into archers. Like, archers were doing 1 damage to knights, so those knights would just not die. Now, what Hera, I'm not sure if he knows this, but there is siege engineering done, but Hera is actually attacking to castle right now, which B does not know yet. So he needs to be very fast with his push if he's gonna go for it, and there's gonna be engagement in the middle, or maybe not.
Well, again, B looked like that was a totally fine engagement for him to take. He's got 7 Royal Knights there with armor, and he didn't choose to take the engagement. Is he going to end up regretting not taking these engagements? He's waiting. This is why he's not taking the engagement, because that battering ram is halfway built, and he looks like he wants to go in with the battering ram, but again, could have gone into the back of those archers and done some pretty good damage there. Another ram going, he's just going for that big ol' push, but Hera reaches castle. Beasty, is this push happening 1 minute too late?
Yeah, he should have taken that engagement with archers a couple of times, I think. Like, he's gonna ram push these towers, but by the time they are done, Hera just needs to delay for his lancers to come out, and he just needs to delay the push as much as he can, and by the time B, is ready to fight and actually do some eco damage, it's going to be too late, I think.
Well, we're about to find out. 10 villagers inside those outposts, which are going to go down pretty damn quickly, especially with the second ram coming in. Interesting, we do see that ram taking quite legit damage from those archers. The outpost and the archers together putting in some damage. Actually lost half its hit points almost in the end right there. In the end, it will go down, but Hera managing to not lose too much. Rams now Royal Knights now going into the back of the units. Villagers are escaping once again. Again, military units a bit misplaced there from B. Not taking a single villager down. Hera managing to get every single one out. And this push has to be... This is very much a bit of an all-in situation. He's either got to take it down completely or it's going to be over. Tries to move the Gur, but the Gur's going to go down. Now running those Royal Knights into the back of these veteran archers, which just got their upgrade in. So Hera with quite nice timing. Lots of damage being done to those Royal Knights. Bunch of them going down. And with the upgrade, doesn't look like this is a strong enough push from B. Definitely far behind on score, but quite unpredictable, the Mongol score. So that might not mean too much. Tries to move in right now. Again, gets those Royal Knights on top of the archers. And this time he does finally take the engagement. He didn't want to take the engagement against the feudal archers, but he does want to take against the veteran. Now pulling back, building another battering ram, trying to make that 3. But the battering ram's going to do enough if he can't win on the military field. Beasty, is this looking okay for B or too little too late?
I'm not sure why he's so scared of the archers. Like, he just had 9 knights on top of 20 archers and he ran away again. I'm just confused. Like, he could definitely run that down, and now he decides to take a fight with more archers. As I could see, the archers can't really kill knights, and his own archers are completely mopping up Hera's archers right now. This is looking really, really bad for Hera. All the workers are pulled. There's absolutely no mining, so there's no unit production for Hera is about to stop, and more workers and archers are just going down for Hera right now.
Yeah, those villagers trying to take down the rams, and they do take down the rams, but look at the number of dead villagers on the ground there for Hera. That is so many dead villagers, and even though Hera's ultimately going to be able to fight this off, he has lost a huge number of villagers during this. You see just how many villagers are strewn the battlefield. What we'll do is we'll take a look right after this engagement, which is almost done, at what the villager count looks like, but it should be pretty problematic here, the villager count for Hera. Let's take a little look. B with the 50 villagers, and Hera now with 26 villager. Some more not safe for work action going on here, as Hera's villager count absolutely decimated, and now B looks like he's going to be able to just take his time and go in, because that is a huge gap now for Hera to try and close.
Yeah, and B just killing more workers on the right side, and Hera just taps out.
And Hera taps out. That's 3-1. Oh my goodness. Are we looking at a... I mean, as we were talking about before this game, we've got the N4C qualifiers going on. I'm not going to say, I don't know what's going on exactly with Hera in this match. Maybe taking a little bit more time than B to adapt to the new patch and the new meta. But that is 3 match points now for B. He's going to have 3 opportunities to close out this Winner Stays On series and become the new champion. Oh my goodness, that game, I mean, just like, how would you sum that one up, Beastie? What did Hera do wrong? What did B do right?
I think Hera's just game plan was weird. I'm not really sure. Because he looked like he wanted to rush castle, but then he took the all the way forward deer, which is not something you do against French specifically because of the knights. He could have gotten pastures and just gotten food around East TC. But also he decided to go for archers versus, again, French knights, which I am not sure what the idea behind that was. So I don't know, just weird game. Like, guys, if you upgrade knights to have +1 armor, the archers are doing 1 damage per shot. Like, you don't make archers to defend knights. So that was just kind of like a weird decision. And it seemed like he wanted to rush castle, but maybe he was worried about feudal all-in. Maybe he was worried about tower rushes, actually. That's something that we haven't considered. Maybe he thought that B will go for another tower rush on the wood, so he decided to go for archers. I'm honestly not sure.